You know, my previous career, I was traveling around a lot, managing digital sales teams across the country. I have talked to a lot of businesses. I've seen some great websites. I've seen some horrible websites. I've seen campaigns that work really well, and I've seen things that have just bombed as well. So hopefully we can shave some of that off today and give you guys some starting points to really make sure you're on the right track with a digital campaign. So let me start with this. I like to kind of get things going here. How many of you this morning woke up to your cell phone? Wow, nearly everyone. So it's pretty safe to say that you go to bed and you wake up looking at a screen. If you have stock in the alarm clock business, you're not looking too good right now. It's probably not going to work out. Okay, let's take it a different direction. You wake up this morning, you put your clothes on, you make your breakfast, pour your coffee, turn your car on, back out of the driveway. You get about 2 miles down the road. You realize you forgot your wallet. How many people go back for their wallet? Yeah, like 2 people in the room, exactly. And you're fine for 8 hours in the day. Same scenario, you forget your cell phone. Who goes back for your cell phone? Yes, everybody goes back for their cell phone. The point being, guys, is that we live on screens now. So I've had people all the time come to me, Travis, I don't know, maybe this can be a secondary option in my advertising program. But we all know in 2016, this is what we do. So we focus on really 4 main screens when we're taking this approach. ComScore did a study back in 2015 to see what digital screen was most popular throughout the day. From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., what do you think was the most popular digital screen?
Cell phone.
Exactly. You're brushing your teeth, you're getting your breakfast. Most of us are looking up our emails and things on our cell phone. What about from 9 o'clock in the morning to about 5 o'clock? What's the most popular screens?
PC.
Exactly. Desktop and laptop. Driving home, what's the most popular screen?
Your cell phone.
Well, no, there's no popular screen. You don't ever look at your cell phone driving home. That is the wrong answer.
Right.
But good try. Exactly. And then obviously from the 7 p.m. to 10 o'clock at night, what do people typically look at?
Cell phone.
And?
And tablets.
Tablets. Tablets actually take over at nighttime. People are sitting on their couch and they're playing with their tablets. Again, it's very important to know this type of stuff because you want to effectively place your message where people are looking. Now, 3 really good stats to start off. 71% of media using population are using multi-screen. So if you think this is just the millennials out there using cell phones and that technology stuff, you're wrong. Everyone is using this stuff now. Of those people, nearly everyone is moving between devices within the same day. And then finally, this is powerful, 66% turn to their cell phones to learn more about something seen in a TV commercial. Have you guys done that before? I did it like last night. Again, I'll just go ahead and throw myself out there. Being mid-30s, married, just bought a home 6 months ago, I am your prime target right now for home remodeling. So if anybody's in that, that's what I'm doing. As soon as I see a commercial for that, you better believe I'm looking up your website and your reviews. So keep that in mind. All right, moving on. So it's not TV or digital, it's TV and digital. So before we get into this, I want you to imagine what your customer looks like. We talk about this a lot today. We're going to really drive in on that. It's about your customer. Think like your customer. Most of us think of our customer as, oh, you know, it's a 35 to 65 female, and we just kind of cap it off at that. Digital, we can get so much more in depth. I'm looking at Valinda over here. We just did a deep dive analysis of her client. Valinda's in insurance, and she did a wonderful job spending 30, 45 minutes with us really figuring out what that client looks like. It's funny, I'll use an example. Last week I was talking to a company that sells pool tables and spas and patio furniture and bar sets and everything else. And I said, what does your ideal customer look like? And they said, oh, it's the woman because she makes the decisions. And all of their marketing campaign was based off of that. And I said, let's back up for just a second. I said, you're talking about pool tables, bar sets, everything else. I agree with him. I'm married. My wife makes all the decisions. I understand that very well. But the marketing message is not going to her. It's coming to me. I'm the one building the man cave / playroom that I want, okay? And so that message needs to be directed at me. And so then we got a little bit farther into it. I said, what do I do in order to buy a pool table? And so at the time, he was just doing a TV campaign. And he was like, well, you know, I'm sure they're looking up information on man caves and what's good with a pool table. I was like, wouldn't it be great to be able to get in front of him there? He's like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about that just a little bit. Here's another example. 21 to 40-year-old male sports enthusiast. If this is somebody that you target, then we're going to help you out a little bit today. So what does that person really look like? What are they doing? What are they into? They're probably watching every game on Sunday. So for TV, that's a great spot to be on. Obviously, NFL is over, but you've got NHL and all kinds of good stuff going on, NBA. They're browsing on a tablet or a phone while they're doing this. So last week I was watching the Super Bowl like everybody else in Middle Tennessee, and they start talking over and over and over. Is Peyton Manning going to retire? Well, throughout the Super Bowl, I'm looking up things to see what the predictions are. Has he said anything yet? What does ESPN have to say about it? Again, targeting that person while they're there as well. It's very powerful. Watching ESPN after work, watches YouTube sports channels at work. We're not supposed to watch YouTube at work. I understand that, but it happens. So again, it's another way to be in front of people. YouTube actually takes up 20% of all video views in the world, and that's continuing to grow. Of course, they're part of Google, but YouTube is extremely powerful if you haven't thought about that, and extremely affordable as well. It's not that expensive. We can put together a very effective campaign even for small businesses with a small budget. So keep that in mind as we move forward. 80% of smartphone users multitask while watching TV. The whole point being here, it is absolutely crucial to combine digital with a TV campaign. We all do that, right? You hold your cell phone and you watch TV at the same time. Everybody multitasks. And I got a lot of head shakes. Okay, moving on. So how do we get there? This screen right here is to give you anxiety. Because I'm in the digital world and it gives me anxiety looking at this. Okay, I'm going to walk over here to this because you won't be able to see it. There's 64 different things on here. Vivek from the wine auction, I know we were talking about this the other day. I mean, there's so many things going on. You got search engine optimization and social media and your website, email marketing, search engine marketing, Google AdWords, mobile advertising, on and on and on. And there's a million breakouts to those. And so again, how do you map through this entire world? So what we're going to do is try to shave off about 5 things today that we're going to talk about to help you at least narrow that down. Now, working for News Channel 5 and Scripps, obviously we have teams. I have a team of 300 people in Cincinnati that work on this. It always cracks me up when someone says, I got this covered. I'm the one-stop shop in my thing, and I do all of this. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. I can't do it all. So again, it's not like it was 15 to 20 years ago, guys. You can't just have a bucket of money and say, I'm going to do a little bit of print, I'm going to do a little bit of TV, and I'm going to do a little bit of radio, and call me in 6 to 12 months, and we'll see if it works or not. Way more things going on. 2,000 messages a day. It's because there's more outlets for that message, and we have to be aware of that. So moving forward. First of all, where are your customers online? Google puts out something called a path to purchase. If you're not familiar with this, you can Google this, or I can send you a link right after this just to get with me. But the way this works is they give anywhere from 10 to 12 different main industries, okay? And what they have come up with is on their path to purchase, these are the things that influence them along the way. Now, most of us, if you've ever bought a TV campaign or a general branding awareness, what this really looks like, this is the starting point. All your TV commercials, all the branding awareness that you're doing is right here. The path to purchase is going to be down here. So after they see your commercial, after they see a billboard or whatever else, what's the first thing they do?
Look it up.
They look it up. They go on to Google or Bing or whatever else, and they start searching, okay? Then the funny thing is say I'm looking up a car. I see a new BMW commercial. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a new BMW this year. All of a sudden, a couple days later, I start seeing ads pop up on websites. That new 5 Series BMW. Interesting. That's kind of getting it a little more in my mind. And eventually, I get an email from them that's the new 5 Series 2016. Here's the interior. These are all the new bells and whistles and the features. So now I'm really interested. I go back to Google and I type in BMW dealers in Nashville. The top ad at the very top says President's Day sale. All of our cars are marked off this month. You should come see us. I click on it and I go to their website. Finally, I go visit the dealership. I found out, we worked with one of the car dealers in town. I found out recently that on average, we visit 1.5 dealers before we make a car purchase. And I was like, there's no way. And I was like, nope, that's exactly what I did. I went to 1 actually last time. Why? Because my mind was made up already before I even walked into that dealership. So if your advertising campaign consists of branding and then just hoping at some point they're going to buy from you, you're missing the entire boat in the digital world to try to affect their decision. Does that make sense? Cool thing is, that's auto. So let's go to home and garden shoppers. What I want you to see here is that Google actually says different things interact with them in different ways. And so for this one, email actually is more effective right off the bat. And then by the end of the path, display ads start working. And again, this is me right here. I'm the guy that's remodeling I can show you pictures of how messed up my bathroom is. So again, this stuff is working for me when it pops up online. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Simplify it. Man, I could spend an entire seminar just on this slide talking about marketing strategies. But I will be honest, I will apologize for my industry as a whole. We overcomplicate everything. We do. When we think of digital, you just kind of clam up. You're like, I have no idea what's going on. How many people have had a AE come and give a digital presentation or a pitch and say, this is what you should do, and they leave, and you're like, I have no idea what they were saying. Most people are like, yeah, I have no idea. That's our fault. Honestly, simplify it. In my opinion, it comes down to two different things. You create a marketing solution, but you also have a website solution, okay? People forget about this, especially small businesses. Most of you guys that I talk to, they're like, yeah, we need a website. We got one. We put it up a few years ago or 10 years ago or whatever else. It's our landing page, but that's about it. You know, I don't really know much more about it. But I want to do a lot of marketing. I'm like, whoa, let's back up. Let's talk about your website. What do you want people to do when they come to your website? And then most of the time, people just kind of freeze and they go, I mean, I just kind of looked at it as a branding thing, you know, or we want a phone call. They'll start saying that. Okay, if you want a phone call, we look up their website. Their phone number is buried under contacts at the very bottom of that section of the website. It's like, wouldn't it make more sense to put that at the very top? That's the first thing you see. Some people say, I want to be an industry expert. You know, if I have some financial, do I have any financial people in here? Financial industry stuff? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So a lot of I used to work with banks and CPA firms all the time. They're like, you know what? We want to be industry experts in what we do. I said, okay, let's go to the website and look at it. The last article was posted in 2011. It's like, see, you got to stay on top of that. If this is the suit of your business, you've got to actually update it. You've got to make sure it's accomplishing what you want when they come to the website. Once we have that, once we build it out properly, then we create the marketing solution to bring people back to it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, the marketing solution itself, again, I could talk for 3 hours. You guys don't want that. I could talk for 3 hours about that. There's no one-size-fits-all marketing solution. And so even in this, I know a lot of people have questions about what does a digital marketing campaign really need to involve. It depends on your objectives. And so, you know, toward the end of this today, you know, we absolutely want to sit down with you at some point with coffee. It's not a hard sell at all. That's my favorite part of this job, is brainstorming what is your USPs and figuring out some type of plan in digital marketing. And I could talk for 6 hours about all the products we have. You don't want that. Being mobile. Okay, this is the part we talk about. So some fun things. You have Michael Douglas here. Who knows what this movie is? Anybody got a guess? Wall Street, exactly. And he's rocking that awesome 80s phone there. Same thing, I called it Zach Morris phones. That's what we had here. Shift a decade down. Who remembers the Nokia phones and the face plates that you could put on those and it would mess up your phone? Yeah, all that stuff. It's great stuff. Skip to 2005. What I want you to see here, crowd of people. If you look out and survey this, you got flip phone here, flip phone there. Okay, now we're going to go 8 years into the future, 2013. It looks like a concert, except we have cell phones now. Everyone has something in their hand. These are the screens that people see all day long. Am I making my point in terms of mobile? Okay, so really good stats. My favorite stat in the entire thing. 88% of consumers who conduct a local search on a mobile device call or go to a business within 24 hours. I will be one to tell you I'm an 88% person. Someone who is looking up services right now for my house, literally 2 nights ago, I looked up about 3 or 4 websites for a bathroom remodel. I made 3 phone calls that next morning, okay? The point I want to make with this, though, is the next thing. Over 90% of consumers will leave a website on their mobile device immediately if it is not mobile friendly.
Yeah.
And that's
Do you guys agree with that?
a lost sales opportunity, folks.
And the funny thing is when I'm talking to most people, they're like, yeah, we need to get on that. Ours is not mobile friendly. That's probably a plan for like next year. We just don't have the money. Guys, you are missing like 80% of the entire population looking at your stuff. So back in 2015, April 2015, Google basically announced, and some of you are shaking your head, you know this, that you're not going to pop up in a search if you're not mobile friendly. Right. And so what that looks like, your site either needs to be mobile optimized, meaning that it's nice and concise, it's designed specifically for a mobile device, or it's what we call responsive. And responsive, some of you know what this is, some of you don't. The best way to tell if your site is responsive is if you go to a desktop computer and you take that screen that's full size and you start minimizing it and you start making it smaller. If you see the words and the pictures start shifting to where it matches the screen type, that's called responsive. That's a good thing. You want that because it can adjust to any screen size that you have. So again, going back to this creative right here, this is an example of very bad creative. You know what I'm talking about, where you have to pinch and zoom in and click things and certain things don't work. My example the other night, I said I visited 2 or 3 websites. The first 2 that I visited were similar to this. I hated it. I couldn't figure out what to do. I wanted to order these cabinets, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And so I jumped right back off. The point I'm trying to make is, those first 2 sites, those could have been the best cabinet makers in all of the US. Seriously, they could have been amazing, but I didn't care. I had a terrible user experience. I don't even associate that as they're good at what they do. I kicked back off and I went to another one that was very user-friendly. I ordered cabinets in about 3 minutes and that was it. I spent $300 or $400 just like that because they had a mobile-friendly site. So a good example of this, American Home Design, which that was not one of the things, I guess I could have visited this, but I want you to understand right here at the very top, they want calls. They have a big giant button for their mobile optimized piece that says click to call. It's very simple to do. Everything, the text is really nice and laid out. I don't have to zoom in. Extremely, extremely important in 2016 for you have to have a mobile optimized site. It is so important or you're missing tons of business. Embracing technology. Again, most people kind of clam up when I say embrace technology. You think of this right here, is this like atom grid kind of thing? And I'm looking at this, you cannot read this, but DSPs and ad networks and retargeting and trade decks and all these different things that I had to learn a long time ago. That's not what we're talking about when we say embrace technology. What I'm talking about is using digital technology to find that person. If you're doing a digital campaign right now that's just mass branding and awareness, and what I mean by that is you're not really targeting anyone, it's just kind of like anything else, throwing the net out there, you are missing the boat because there are all types of very effective targeting ways on digital. Even in the past couple of years, it's changing. More and more targeting efforts. So let's talk about that and what that looks like. The next slide here, geofencing. So everybody knows what geographic targeting is. Most of us who have done a digital campaign have said, you know, Travis, I really want to run my ads in Davidson County and Williamson County. Well, that's been going on for quite a while. We can do that. It's not a big deal at all. And so your ads are showing up in those counties or those cities or whatever else. When I say geofencing, what I'm talking about is we have technology to where we can basically draw a perimeter around a building within 2 feet. So literally from this point to this point around a building, and whoever walks into that location can be served your ads for up to 30 days. Yeah, I get a lot of, that's creepy. It is very creepy, but it's amazing in terms of how you reach effective customers. I'm going to pick on Vivek here because we used him the past 2 days in our examples from the Nashville Wine Auction. So they're running a campaign with us right now. They have an event coming up, the 27th. The one that they are promoting is called Wind Up, okay? It's a higher end wine event. They're looking for a specific customer. When we sat down with them, we narrowed down who does your customer look like. Well, they would love for anybody to come. That's, you know, anybody can buy a ticket to this, but really their customer is someone who can afford or who typically buys a $75+ bottle of wine. Most of us are like, I'm not buying a $10 bottle of wine plus that. So again, you know, very niche audience and who we're looking at here, okay? So we started talking through what is the best way to use technology to target that person. So what we came up with in one part of their campaign is we are going to target the 30+ high-end restaurants in town, the Cane Primes, the cinemas, and all these in town. That part of their campaign got some of the highest click-through rates out of anything that we did because it's reaching the right people. Okay, does that make sense? Another really good example, one of my AEs told me the other day, you know the sunshades that go in the back of your house? I don't know, some of you might. Sunsetter, thank you. You know, she has a client that sells those, and she was trying to think, how do I get in front of a good audience for that? And so we thought, for geofencing, why not have a testimonial ad, have, you know, a really pretty neighborhood where someone bought that, you get permission, you take the shots of it, and then we just geofence just that neighborhood. And so, and the message says, drive by and look at this new sunshade that they have, and tell us what you think. And again, now they have a captive audience that can actually see the product itself in action. I thought that was brilliant. I really, really like that as well. Another type of technology we're very familiar with, it's called retargeting. But what this is when you're searching online and you visit a website. Now, I didn't make these. This is Victoria's Secret. It's a little awkward for me. I don't really search Victoria's Secret, but either way. So say this particular person is searching Victoria's Secret, and then she goes to another site in the next 30 days. So she's on ESPN. All of a sudden, she's getting served Victoria's Secret ads. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this a good thing? When I think about the path to purchase, you know, I know Kurt talked about it, the awareness all the way to the intent to buy. I'll use Vivek again. I told Vivek that I was going to buy tickets to Wind Up. It took me, 3 weeks to actually buy those tickets. And I knew I was going to buy them. And we do this too. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And we don't buy it. That's what's so great about this. It's someone who has the intent to purchase, and then they're bouncing around. They haven't made that decision yet, but then they're like, oh, that's right. I was just there. I need to go back and buy this. Very, very effective marketing. The other type of retargeting that most people don't know about is called search retargeting. So the way this works is if you're on Pinterest and you type in fabric and headboard, again, there's your cookies in your computer, then it's storing. Then all of a sudden you go to HGTV and you have fabric, and then you got Wikipedia, upholstery needle. To me, you know, if you want to put this person in a bucket, it's probably someone that's looking to do it yourself type thing, to redo a bedroom or whatever else. So lo and behold, Joanne bought inventory around that particular persona. So that's how search retargeting works. Again, these are not expensive tools. It is very, very affordable. It's just making sure you're with a company that actually has the ability to do these type of things and is effectively knowing who your customer really is. That's a huge piece to this as well. And then, finally, we have the extending the reach of TV commercials. So for you that haven't really believed that, okay, the digital and TV thing really works well together, this is a case study by the IAB, Interactive Advertising Bureau, which pretty much heads everything in our digital world. They did a study where the yellow bar here is people who have done TV and digital ads together, okay? The blue bar here is TV-only ads. And what they did is they polled this audience about their general recall of the commercials or the ads, their brand recall, their message recall, and their likability. Every single category that they had, the TV with digital scored much higher. Most effectively, the message recall. That's what you want. I mean, your brand can be out there all day long, but what message are you really giving them? They had a 45% increase in terms of your message, which goes back to the point of creative too. Making sure you have a compelling offer, a very compelling message. Again, I could spend another 2 days talking about creative. Maybe we do a 2.0 seminar just on creative at some point. So what I want to do is show you a commercial and a pre-roll ad that actually have run on our site and on our station. What I want you to see here is how effectively they play off each other. And I'm going to get to the digital one in just a second. So this is the TV commercial.
There's now hope for chronic back pain. Let the experts at Regen Orthopedics help you find relief from chronic pain caused by arthritis and sports injuries through non-surgical treatments. As more and more patients wish to avoid surgery or medication, regenerative therapies are fast becoming the solution.
Extensive research has shown that these treatments help to activate your own adult stem cells to repair injuries, reduce inflammation, and stop the pain with very little downtime.
Find out how at regenorthopedics.com.
So people who don't want to go through the whole surgery, lots of people have back pain. Again, this speaks directly to them. What I want you to understand about the video commercial that played on our site is how fast they got to the message. A terrible creative in my world, in the digital world, is something that drags out. Most of these commercials, they can't on our site, but most of them can be skipped. So why would you wait to have your offer and your message 12 seconds into the campaign? So this has done a great job.
Let the experts at Regen Orthopedics help you find relief from arthritis, joint, and back pain through non-surgical therapies at Regen Orthopedics.
These treatments help to activate your own adult stem cells to repair injuries, reduce inflammation, and stop the pain with very little downtime.
Again, quick hits. We had a conversation yesterday. Somebody was like, I don't know how I could actually tell what I do and my unique selling point in 15 seconds. It can be done, I promise. And so again, that's another thing that we can help you guys with this too, is in order to put an effective creative together. This is something just for fun I want to show you. Again, I'm all about something over the top and creative. If you're getting 2,000 messages a day, you need something a little different. So when I think of YouTube ads, how many times have you gone to a YouTube ad, or I'm sorry, a YouTube video that you want to watch, Jimmy Fallon or whatever else, and all of a sudden an ad pops up for 30 seconds and you're like, I hate those ads, that kind of thing. We all do it, we know that. So the creative actually plays off that type of a mentality.
Eat24, the food delivery app.
All right, so something that we're going to do for free for you guys today, if you are interested, we do a 5-point internet visibility check, and it kind of encompasses the entire digital world. But the idea is, one, we analyze the front and back end of your website. So you could have a beautiful website. I've seen thousands of them, but they don't talk to Google. I will tell you, I have a friend that actually designs websites, and he does not do SEO, or search engine optimization. So it's very important to make sure the back end of your website is talking to Google and that you're populating properly. Social media evaluation, Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn. Gosh, again, another whole topic that I could spend 2 hours on just on social media. Google+, just as a side note, if you haven't registered your business on Google+, huge mistake. It's very simple to do. Go in and register, because if you haven't, you'll never pop up in that map listing on page 1. That's free stuff right there. You don't pay for that. So again, make sure that. Online reputation, on-site and off-site reviews. I can tell you straight up, if I'm looking for home remodeling stuff and you have a 2-star review on Google, I'm probably not going to pick you. So we go through that. We look at Yelp and a lot of other things to make sure your reputation is up there. Competitive landscape of the market and competition. Most people don't think about, go to your competitors' websites. Look to see what they're doing well or they're not doing well. That's the best way to get ideas right off the bat. Or say, this is our USP, because they're not saying that. And then finally, a search engine marketing, which is Google AdWords and all that kind of stuff, and an SEO analysis on your business and competition in the marketplace. So either way, we would love to be a trusted partner. At the very end of this, again, we'd love just to even spend 30, 45 minutes with you and get some time on your calendar. So we'll be walking around for that too. I'll turn it back over to Kurt for 7 more things toward the end.
All right, here's what you learned today. Here's 7 tips to help you grow your business in 2016. Build a strategic annual marketing plan as a percentage of your gross annual sales and stay consistent with it. If you truly want to grow your business, avoid this mistake that most small business owners are making. Sit down, end of each year, and build that 12-month strategic annual plan. I see some heads shaking here. This is key to your growth, folks. It's really, really important. You don't know what percentage of your annual sales you should invest in marketing. Select a trusted partner who can give you that guidance and help get you that information. This is something that I encourage you to take a look at. If you're investing hard-earned advertising dollars and you're not getting ROI, I've worked with hundreds of clients and we've been able to help them grow that business 15, 20, 25, 30% year over year without spending an extra dollar in advertising. So it is possible to grow your business utilizing the exact same advertising budget by simply cost shifting and focusing on return on investment and audience and frequency and message and all that good stuff. Number 3, identify your core customer and let's message to them with frequency, compelling offers, use a call to action, and be consistent. Number 4, Travis alluded to this. It's not about how many people you reach. Most small business owners do not have the ability to reach the millions of people that live here in Nashville with their marketing budget. You can't do it. You're a small business owner. Focus on the right audience and reach them at the right time and reach them with frequency. We use the 4:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. early morning news example. You could literally own that audience week in and week out for $150, $225 a day. So it is affordable, and the cost per thousands are extremely low, so it's very, very efficient. Number 5, employ that market timing strategy. It's not about advertising, it's about market timing. Communicate at the exact moment consumers are going to use a product or service like yours. Number 6, focus on cost per thousand. Put your ad dollars on steroids and focus on what it's costing you to reach 1,000 of your target customers. And finally, define and continuously refine your core unique selling proposition. Like we just did here earlier on that quick exercise. Every one of you has a unique selling proposition that separates you from the competition. So spend some time on this. If you need help, we're a trusted expert in this category. We can certainly help you out, and we'd certainly love to do that. And that's it for our portion of the presentation. I'd like to leave you with just this one thing. This is my client. His name is Doug Stacy. I've worked with Doug and Pam, the Stacy family, for a number of years now. And this is our station in Kansas City. It's part of the Scripps family, so he refers to KSHB. But let me just leave you with this.
One thing that I would say about television advertising is that you have to have a plan and you have to be consistent. You can't expect just to run one TV commercial and think that the phone's going to ring off the wall. What you have to do is you have to have a plan, and you have to execute that plan and stay with it day after day, month after month, year after year. Well, over the last 3 years, we have had a dramatic increase in sales and profitability through advertising on KSHB. Each year we do a little bit better. We have better quality clients come through the doors because of where we're advertising. I have recommended KSHB to some of my friends, my business associates, and they have also had really good results and have been very pleased. They've called me and told me how well everything's working for them so far.
Thank you guys for it's been an honor and a privilege.